Hello, morning all. Just a quick look at Bitcoin this morning. We're pushing on again. We're going through the all-time highs that we set on the 27th of December, and we're currently at the point. I'll show you in a minute. I'll just show you this check-in money flow where we're very, very bullish at the moment. We're up to levels that we were seeing in 2017, back in June 2017. Check-in money flow was at 43, and then in December it was at 37. We had a high reading last April where we gained a lot of strength, and now we're up at that 39 region, very strong. There's nothing on this weekly chart that's telling me that there's going to be a reversal yet. If we look at the RSI, we are overbought in the RSI. We are at levels that are overbought. We're very high up here. We're matching what we were in December. We were at levels of 90. We're at those levels again. Now this can remain overbought for a while. I wouldn't say it can remain overbought for months and months. If you look here, we were overbought for a while. Throughout 2017, we had episodes where we were overbought. In time, that will come. This is not going to go across into January and February. So there will be a pullback. That's inevitable. This RSI will not remain overbought for months and months and months. There will come a time where it will come back down into normal levels, and during that time, that will be quite a healthy pullback. There will be a healthy pullback. Now, what's interesting at the moment, what's very interesting for me at the moment is, let's go straight to a 1 hour and look at it on a 1 hour chart. Let's get rid of that. The interesting thing is this going to be a double top now? That's the big question. We had our high here on the 27th at 11 a.m. UTC. Now, if Bitcoin here is going to stop here and pull back down, that would be a double top. Looking at it though, it looks stronger than that, doesn't it? It looks, because look, it's had a candle where it's on a 4 hour chart. It might look more like a double top, but that's what you could see here now is a double top. A pause here and back down, and then if that is the case, double tops tend to really retract a lot. So there is that possibility. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. Bulls remain in control of this chart. The green volume bars are all much higher on average than the reds. So the bulls remain in control of this without doubt. But there is the possibility that this could double top. Let's have a look on a 4 hour. On a 4 hour, it looks strong as well, because this was like one candle where it shot up and then came back down. This looks stronger. So it could still double top. The likelihood is, though, that it won't, that it will continue higher at the moment. It's looking that it's going to go higher. On a daily chart, I like to look at the indicators on a daily chart. A daily chart really is, the moving averages are the interesting one. We're still well above the 20. And when we do pull back, it seems that the 20 is like, we don't seem to go much lower than the 20 moving average on a pullback. So with that being said, we start pulling back now. We're heading for 24,000 at the lowest at the moment. The indicators are that we're not going to pull back below the 20 right now. Although, like I say, if that is a double top, it looks like it still could be that. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I do like to look at the indicators on here though, see. They're actually more accurate, I would say, than the weekly. We are overbought as well on the daily RSI. I'd say on the stochastic as well. we will look. We're high up in that as well, and overbought, and blue above the orange. And I like to have a look at the daily Chaikin money flow as well, which is actually probably a better barometer overall. I don't like to have it like that though. I like to see an area there. As you can see, we're not at all-time highs. We were higher in November when we were really getting strength into the market, but we're still good. We're still looking very strong. The distribution is bullish. The path of least resistance is firmly to the upside, which means there's no resistance above. This could carry on going higher quite easily. Remain overbought on the weekly and the daily RSI. That's a distinct possibility. Right, let's have a look at another one. One I was looking at recently. We've had a good run up, but as we've had this strengthening in Bitcoin, we've had its DOT. DOT has returned to the 786 just this morning. Let's have a look when it actually did do that. Right, it's just touched it now. It's just at 786 now as Bitcoin's gone on this run. But DOT had a very good run up, didn't it? DOT did very well against Bitcoin since the all-time high the other day. So Bitcoin's all-time high was here from the other day, 23. Since then, DOT's really gained a lot of strength. Came up to the 382, battled that a little bit, then straight up to the 618. Had a couple of touches on that, broke through that, went up to the 786, broke through that, and now it's down at that 786 and it's finding support. And if you look at DOT US dollar, it's a very pretty picture. DOT US dollar, it's really broken out in the last few days. I'm interested in this cryptocurrency purely because of the technology behind it. It's had a decent breakout since the 24th. It's gone from 450 to 750, which is a big increase in market cap as well. So it's worth keeping an eye on DOT. Let's have a zoom out a little bit to see how it's doing. Look, it's at all-time highs as well. It's really broken out well. It'd be interesting to see where it goes in future, what sort of pattern it could pull up. It's really looking good at the moment for DOT. Let's have a look at another one. Ethereum's doing well too. It's above its 20-hour moving average at the moment, and it's broken out well. Let's have a look at Ethereum on a big picture chart from the old school days. It's producing some great 2 weekly candles there. We're getting close to these periods in April. Let's have a look at the overall, the all-time high Fibonacci levels. Oh, I'm not going to get my lows on there, am I? So where were the lows? Were the lows in March this year? Or were they in December? Because it was a very close run thing. Oh, look, we're at the Fib 50. Let's get rid of this old one. We're at the Fib 50. Just about there, look. The Fibonacci 50% of the all-time high. What about body-to-body candle? Let's see how that works. Body-to-body is there to there. Yeah, we're around about that Fib 50 at the moment, which is an interesting point. If the next target up is 872, I still think you better. Oh, sorry about that. I still think you're better off going from the top there, from the all-time high, which was 1417 there or thereabouts on this chart, which is Bitstamp, and that all-time low was very close to that. It's that body in December. That low there was 88.2, and this low here was 80.9 in December 2018. And we're touching the Fib 50 perfectly there. And that would make sense because we had a good touch here on the Fib 236 from those all-time highs. What a lot of people were using was this here, this one from April. Sorry, it was May, I think early May 2018. I remember that run up clearly. So a lot of people were using that. And if we were using that, we got up to the Fib 382 and then hit the Fib 50, back down to the 382. Then we back up and we've gone through them all there. And if that's the case, we're targeting the top there, which is 834. I still think, look, let's look at the overall big picture, the all-time highs. And if that's the case, we're only at the Fibonacci 50%. And we've touched on that. And that is resistance at the moment. And let's look at it from that point of view on Ethereum. And I think if Ethereum breaks through there and looks towards that target of 908, above this, if it gets above this level here, then we're really looking to levels beyond $1,000 for Ethereum in the not too distant future. Now, Litecoin is also doing very well at the moment. It's printing some really encouraging candles. That's on the daily chart. Let's have a look at Litecoin big picture from the all-time highs as well. Be interesting to see where it is. Litecoin it's up and down really, isn't it? It has long periods where it's down, but when it goes up, it certainly does run up. I myself said, look, when Litecoin starts to run, it really does quite well. We're not quite at last year's highs yet, though, 145, which was the Litecoin halvening, so that would have had an effect on it. Right, let's have a look at the fibs from the all-time high, which was all the way up there, to the lows. The lows was actually March this year. Very close again to December, those lows. So there we are, the all-time high, 375, which is spot on. The lows, I want to get the lows accurately in. The lows actually were March this year, went even lower, and touched on that one there at $20 per Litecoin. So in Litecoin, we're targeting then, we're targeting 155. Obviously last year's highs as well, which 145. Apart from that, there's nothing really stopping Litecoin up to 155, the Fib 382. You feel there's still a lot of potential in Litecoin. And some of these volume bars are extremely encouraging for heavy volume in Litecoin. This is Bitstamp. And let's change that to, let's have a look at that on another exchange. Coinbase is always quite a popular one for Litecoin. It's always been on there. Again, very encouraging volume statistics on Litecoin. I don't think there'll be much difference. Let's get the fib on there. So on Coinbase, all-time high, down to that all-time low, which again, that was December according to Coinbase. And we're only just past the 382 on Coinbase. We've still got a long way to go. All-time highs on Coinbase are 400, so it is slightly different. Yeah, so a lot of room in Litecoin for upward momentum. But what about if you went from the body of the weekly candle there? Well, that's interesting. From the body of the candle, because look, if you go body to body, we're at the 382 perfectly. I think that's perhaps more accurate because this was a real blow-off spike up. A weekly close of 324 is more realistic. And in that case, we are perfectly touching the Fib 382, which coincides exactly with last year's high. So there will probably be a bit of resistance here for Litecoin. Only naturally, there'll be a bit of resistance. I wouldn't say that's anything to be concerned about. Let's remove these volumes. I want to have a look at... Not sure why there's so many of those on there. I want to have a look at Litecoin in terms of these longer term indicators. Oh, I want to look at the stochastic RSI first. And we're on a weekly chart, aren't we? We're very high at the moment. We're overbought in Litecoin. Shaking money flow. Oh, we've got two of them up. We're bullish. We're bullish in that. We're not like Bitcoin. But yeah, we're looking bullish in Litecoin in that indicator. And so just look at the basic ones. And yeah, again, overbought. Right, a daily is a better barometer, I feel, of these indicators as well. And there you can see we're just testing those all-time highs from last year, which is very interesting in Litecoin. We're testing that from last year. We're not overbought in Litecoin at the moment. We've come back down in the RSI. Has there been divergence then, I wonder? You're seeing that on a shorter time frame. That looks like divergence to me. That's gone down there. Whereas from the same point, that has gone up. Right. That means there could be some downward momentum in Litecoin. That does look distinctly like... Could you put it there? No, I don't think you can. I think there is some divergence there in Litecoin. Because that point there is there. And if anything, it's gone up. And that's gone down. So you may have a pullback in Litecoin coming. I think it depends what Bitcoin does. Let's get back on the daily quickly. Let's get rid of that. So we're not overbought on Litecoin. We're just floating around. Let's have a look at the stochastic RSI, which gives you an indicator of oversold and overbought. And again, that's in the 50 range. Now, if there wasn't that divergence, I'd be saying, look, there's going to be a move up in Litecoin soon. But where we've had divergence, it's not as likely. And the shaking is always an interesting indicator to see whereabouts the distribution is. And that's not too high either. So either we've got a hell of a lot of room left to go in Litecoin, or we're about to see a bearish move. So that doesn't tell you much. But what that does tell me is I don't think Litecoin's going to go sideways.